But I mean, I say, fake it till you make it to a point. I feel like there are a lot of newer agents right now, not necessarily young ones, but a lot of new agencies popping up that are run by people who don't really have the experience necessary to be an agent. Now on the editorial side of the desk, I'm seeing a lot of submissions from agents who clearly don't know what they're doing, and it makes me so sad for writers. So, if you are thinking about being an agent, like, please don't take the shortcut of just saying, well, I'll just go into business for myself because there are no requirements to be an agent. Trust me when I say, like, you don't know what you don't know, and you really do need, like, a mentor, someone who's in New York, someone who's been in the business a long time, someone who knows contracts. I'm seeing a lot of these agents who accept the first offer that comes in from a publisher, who spam agents with submissions, who just do everything wrong. And these are agents who, have Twitter profiles and people think are very cool. So it's just so important, if you want to get into the industry, to do it right, and not take shortcuts. And if you're a writer, to really do your research and, to talk to some of the agent's clients and to look on Publishers Marketplace to see if they've sold anything. I'm shocked by the number of people I hear from calling themselves literary agents, and their agency does not have a single verified sale anywhere. Sorry, that's my soapbox. I feel so strongly about this.
That's what we want to hear about. The only thing I might push back on that just a little bit is at one point I could have reached out to 19, 20-year-old, however old you were when you sold your first picture book, and you wouldn't have had any verifiable sales.
No, but my agency would.
Oh, okay.
And
so
the point is,
if you're going to take a chance on a new agent, so long as the agency is credible.
As long as the agency is credible, and as long as that agent has a mentor. Every time I spoke to an author, my boss was on the phone with me, was working with me, looking at my projects, at my submission letters, helping me with submission lists. Like, never was I doing anything on my own. Certainly never negotiated anything or handled a contract on my own, for years. And that's really the way that it should be.
Gotcha. So the experience that you should be looking for in an agent is, ideally they have a mentor. Are there other things that an agent, somebody who wants to be an agent, could do to become a good agent and to be seen as a good agent, aside from just put your shingle out and say, it's me, an agent?
It's really an apprenticeship business. And all I can say is that, a passion for books is not enough. I've spoken to authors who have been unhappy with their agents before at conferences, and they say, like, well, she just really won me over because she loved my book so much. And, like, that's lovely, but we all love books. Like, an agent is more or less your business manager. If they don't know anything about contracts, if they don't know anything about foreign rights, like, I'm astounded at the number of agents who couldn't tell me, like, what the standard escalation is for, a picture book hardcover royalty. Like, if you don't know that off the top of your head, girl, you're in trouble. So yeah, it's just that there's a lot that you need to know, and it's not just about, like, oh, I'm a good editor, or oh, I like books. Yeah, I just feel really strongly that when you're taking an author's career and finances into your hand as an agent, that you need to know what you're doing and be at a reputable agency.
Makes sense to me. And well, let's talk a little bit about your time as an agent. What were some things that you did as an agent to distinguish yourself and make sure that you were above the rest, and somebody that would be desirable to have representing your career in your novels?
You try to be as accessible as possible, I think, which can be really draining, I think, emotionally, because you're really available to your clients sort of 24/7. There aren't boundaries so much. And, maybe I could have set more boundaries. But for me, I think especially with the authors that I worked with, if they have a day job, like, you want to be available for them to, like, text at night or to email, and for them to know that you're there for them. So I think being available to your clients definitely helps. Other than that, I just always wanted to interact with my clients in the way that was most helpful for them, whether it's phone or email or GChat. Really just, being flexible and knowing that you're working for your client, not the other way around.
Makes sense to me. And then now that you're on the other side of the desk, you're the editor receiving the submissions. I think we're hearing a little bit. I know that I waited tables in college, and I know lots of former waiters who, when we go out, if we see the restaurant's really busy, we'll do pity tips because we've been there. But other times, if the restaurant's not that busy and we're looking around and remembering back in the day, like, you could have done a better job than this, we're a little bit harsher on their overall service. Do you find that there's something similar when you're looking at other agents, not necessarily who are bad agents, but that could be doing better than what they're doing and submitting to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there has been a certain level of astonishment, but there's also, a deep amount of respect for my colleagues who I've known and been friendly with for years, former competitors, who I'm delighted to hear from. I'm very excited to read everything that they send me. Like, there are really great agents out there. I won't say that it's the majority of agents, but there are great ones that I'm thrilled to work with and always so happy to see their names in my inbox.
For the agents who I know tune in, what are some things they can do to turn your head and maybe get your attention more than the average agent who doesn't know?
It's always appreciated when they're sending me something that I've talked about seeing from my wish list, in my bio on the Sourcebooks website, or that I've sent them directly, or something we've discussed, either in a lunch meeting or on the phone. But really, I'm just looking for something that's great, that has commercial potential, that I can't stop reading, and that could be anything. So I'm not super picky in that sense. But it's always helpful when it's someone who's made the effort to make a personal connection. I think when you know someone, you're more likely to want to read what they send you.
So what are the best ways for people to make personal connections with you without coming off a little bit, salesman-ish?
So right now I'm kind of going through my long list of agents and inviting everybody out to lunch and coffee and drinks, and that's like 3 or 4 meetings a week. So I'm slowly kind of working through that list. But if there's somebody I don't know or I'm not that familiar with, people have reached out to me and said, can we go get coffee? And I'll say, yeah, sure. If there are agents who aren't in New York, I'm happy to chat with them by phone, just to do like a little getting to know you, because I want to know, what they're representing and interested in too. It's helpful for me.
I'm going to amend my previous statement, not salesman-ish, salesperson-ish. My gosh. Come on, get 2019. Let's get it together.